2018 Suspiria stars Dakota Johnson, Tilda Swinton, Mia Goth, and Chloe Grace Moretz, and it is the remake of the Dario Argento classic, one of my favorite horror movies and something that has influenced me and stayed with me since I first saw it. And I actually got to see the remake in theaters last year, and I had to drive a whole 2 hours to go see it, but I did get to see it, and I wanted to wait till it came out on home video to do a proper vlog about it. And I got to rewatch it again, and the movie's quite good. It is very, very good. It follows the same basic story. It's about Susie Bannion, who in this film is from Ohio, and she travels to Germany to study in a prestigious dance academy in Germany. And it turns out this dance academy is run by a coven of witches who are trying to prepare these girls in a way to be the vessel for Mother Suspiria. Other than that, the film is completely different from the original. Saying that it follows the same basic plot is also sort of like saying that Man of Steel and Superman the movie tells the origins of Superman, but they're two drastically different movies, and I'm happy to say that it's the same case here. To me, a remake has no reason to exist other than to bring a fresh idea to a classic or to put a different spin on things, and this movie absolutely does. It doesn't feel the need to do constant callbacks to the original. It's a very grim and real movie. It feels like something that actually takes place, despite the magic element of it. Where the original felt like a fantasy, this feels like a horror tragedy mixed with real history, because a lot of the effects of World War II and the Holocaust are part of the actual story, which I didn't expect. A very important part in the arc for the doctor character, who is trying to help these girls that are starting to catch on to the nefarious things going on at this dance academy. Now, Dakota Johnson plays Susie Bannion in this movie, and I think she's great. I think she serves the story very, very well. I couldn't quite get on board with it at first because there were a lot of odd things that her character does throughout the story. For example, there are times when she notices weird things going on, things that would make a normal person go like, hey, that's a red flag right there, or want to investigate further into the possibility that the dance academy is run by witches. But she hardly ever actually does that, unlike the Susie Bannion in the original. However, this isn't a plot hole or a character flaw at all. And I can't really go into it because it's a huge spoiler. But just kind of stick with the movie as these odd character choices happen. And I absolutely love Mia Goth in this movie. She plays Susie's sort of best friend. She is someone that Susie connects with almost right away. She is more like Jessica Harper's character in the original. And Tilda Swinton apparently has 3 roles in this movie, which I didn't even know or could tell upon the first viewing. She plays Madame Blanc, who is sort of the lead witch who is trying to help another witch, Madame Markos. And Markos claims to be Mother Suspiria, one of the 3 witch gods, and they're sort of training Susie to be the new vessel for this Markos. And Tilda Swinton, like I said, plays Blanc, and she is a frightening character who is very driven to meet her goals, but at the same time she has her own character arc too, where she realizes that something is off about this ritual that they're trying to do, and maybe it's not right for them to do that. And she also plays the doctor character, this man that's in his 70s, and it's like you can't tell that it's Swinton at all. And last but not least, she plays Mother Markos, the witch that is clearly dying. Another big difference with this film and the original is this film is very, very bleak and dark. There's hardly any color that was so popular in the original. The look is very, very dirty and not clean at all. It's very, very dry, and sometimes I wasn't a fan of it, but at the same time they had to I admire the fact they went in completely the opposite direction. But the overall directing in the movie is done extremely well. I mean, Lucia is a phenomenal director. He totally understands what it takes to make a great remake and what it takes to make a horror movie that stands on its own legs. I'm excited to see what else he does. And the thing that I took away the most about this movie is the dance sequences. Holy shit, the dance sequences are just masterful. They are probably my favorite dance sequences in a movie ever. Like, no joke. Like, I know there are plenty of musicals with great dance sequences and stuff that's really memorable, but it's all choreographed. Yeah, absolutely this stuff is choreographed, but it feels so fleshed out and real, and it feels like you feel the weight of the characters as they're trying to perform these moves. You can tell that the actresses are tired because their characters are tired, and it just feels so raw and unhinged. The dancing is just, it's beautiful and horrific at the same time. I mean, there's a dance sequence that's a good like 5 or 10 minutes long that is this ritual that's supposed to repair Susie's body for Markos to transfer into it. And it's just, the whole sequence is just breathtaking. It is breathtaking, it is horrifying, like all the dance sequences, and they slowly build up throughout the movie and get better and better and more elaborate, but it's never once pretentious or forced to be cinematic. It's so well done. I was so happy with the dance sequences, and I didn't expect it to be at that level. I mean, the dance sequences were good in the original. They served the purpose of the film, but they weren't anything particularly memorable. But the dance sequences in the remake are just, they're just mind-blowing. They're, I mean, it's the kind of performance that you would hope to see once in a lifetime, and it's just absolutely breathtaking to take in, and it's easily my favorite part of the movie is just the dancing, because I just remember seeing it in the theaters and just thinking, wow, they went all out in these dance sequences. Yeah, the horror and the gore is done extremely well and is extremely well paced, and this movie pulls no punches at all. Like, if you were horrified by Hereditary or the original Suspiria, this isn't going to be a movie for you. This movie is absolutely unapologetically graphic in every single way. It's just in your face. Like, here it is. This is Suspiria. We're not holding back anything. There's nudity, blood splatter, and just they show everything on camera. I mean, the mirror sequence, and people who have seen it, it's on par with the hanging sequence from the original as far as how horrific it is, and it's stuff that's hard to watch. I mean, the first time I watched it, I was just like, my skin just literally ran cold. And the movie is absolutely a slow burn. I would compare it to Hereditary, which also came out last year. If you weren't a fan of that, this might not be for you either. The movie is 2.5 hours long, almost an hour longer than the original. But I would almost say that it is the shining of our generation. It is a masterwork. It is just as good as the original, but it's a whole different beast. It stands with some of the greats, and I would absolutely recommend it to anybody who is a horror fan and is wanting something that is next level and something that is telling a good story but not sacrificing character development and plot for just splatter effect. So, Suspiria, have you seen the remake? What did you think of the original? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Thanks as always for watching. Bye.